Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the managing director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we're discussing when did illness become a criminal offense? And I'm not really trying to make this video to point this out specifically at Thailand, although as we'll get into the analysis here, this does, it's kind of got a Thailand angle, obviously. But this seems to be the case like internationally. We've just thrown out all notions of due process in any context, in any country. And we've just sort of said, oh, well, if you have an illness that we deem, we the establishment, if you will, and I don't really like to get into, the establishment, this or that, but, that is deemed, let's just say is deemed to be, a problem, whatever you want to call it, we can just basically do with you whatever we want. It's as if you're a criminal. It's really pretty scary stuff. And getting into this, I was reading a recent article from the Tiger, that's thetiger.com. Article is titled, German Man Believed to Have Monkeypox Briefly Fled Police. The title alone to me is Orwellian. Again, just believed to have monkeypox, then fled police. And another one, we've done this, we've asked this question a lot. What happened to medical privacy? What happened to doctor-patient confidentiality? The purpose of confidentiality is to tamp down hysteria just like this. It's one of the purposes, one of many. Privacy is also another one. Another huge reason that nobody seems to be thinking about is if people don't have medical privacy, they're not going to go visit physicians to get cured and remedied of illnesses. And if they're not cured and remedied of illnesses because they're afraid of being detained without due process, then they're going to be out running around infecting other people. Which again, it's a good reason to have confidentiality in these circumstances. In any event, going back to this, thetiger.com, urge folks who are watching this video, go check that out. A lot of information there. I'm going to do a brief quote here. Again, title is German Man Believed to Have Monkeypox Briefly Fled Police. Quoting directly, results are pending for the first test of what could be the fifth person in Thailand to be confirmed with monkeypox. Again, could be, and to be confirmed is pending. So this, a person is now guilty of an illness until proven innocent. It's really, this isn't a rant. These are legal ramifications. People are being detained for something that, people would not be detained for this a couple of years ago. What has changed? Why is the paradigm so radically shifted? That's one major question I have. Quoting further, another German man, this time from Chang Island, similar to the first case when a Nigerian man fled the country before being caught in Cambodia. And they don't really mention here that the Nigerian man's, like, all of his medical confidentiality was just completely thrown out the window. There were photos of him up everywhere. We discussed this in another video. Quoting further, when a Nigerian man fled the country before being caught in Cambodia, this tourist attempted to escape when asked to submit to testing for monkeypox. And again, escape? When asked to be tested for something, this verbiage, it's really out of line with the reality, in my opinion, of what's going on here. And I'm not calling out the Tiger specifically. I've seen this in other publications. I actually read about this for the first time in a print edition article in the Bangkok Post, but I couldn't find its counterpart online. Then I found this article, so I went ahead and quoted this. So I'm not just calling out the Tiger on this. We like those folks. They're great over there. This just seems to be the evolving narrative. I don't know what the right word is for it, but it really, if people can't take a step back and look at this kind of rationally and see that this doesn't lead to a particularly great place, then I don't know what to say. Quoting further, the man was staying on Koh Chang, the eastern province of Trat, before going to a private hospital in the Muang district on Friday. After expressing symptoms, he had rashes on his genitals and hands, similar to what a patient with monkeypox would have, according to the director of Trat Immigration, where the German man ended up eventually. Quoting further, when doctors suggested a monkeypox test on Friday, the man resisted and was uncooperative before making a break for it. The hospital called and alerted the police, alerted them, I think they mean the police, quoting further, of a possible monkeypox case now on the run, quoting further, police chasing him down as refusing to submit to the mandatory test is in violation of Thailand's communicable disease control laws. Well, I would like to really know which one specifically. As we've discussed many times, as I discussed over on the Tiger at one point myself, codification is the main pillar, if you will, of a civil code system. You have to codify violations. I'd very much like to know what the codified rule this guy supposedly was breaking, because throughout this whole thing, nobody knew he had it. You know, this is before they knew he had it. They're just presuming. And don't get me wrong, I understand there's a lot going on here, you know, but as we'll get to in a minute, I have to ask if the cure isn't almost worse than the disease. And when I say that, going over here to the Bangkok Post, bangkokpost.com, article's titled, Thailand's third monkeypox case found in Phuket. Okay, I understand there are public health concerns out there, but this quote I thought was interesting. Quoting directly, according to a worldwide infection report of about 20,000 known patients, only 3 had died. No deaths occurred among people with no prior chronic disease. That's from the Bangkok Post. Like, I'm not claiming I know anything about how this works, but again, quoting directly, according to a worldwide infection report of about 20,000 known patients, only 3 had died. No deaths occurred among people with no prior chronic disease. So yes, it's out there. I get it. We need to be concerned about public health. But at what cost? You know, again, what happened to due process of law? And police are, quote, police chasing him down, to quote the Tiger again. You know, I mean, you know, this isn't Dillinger. You know, it's not Al Capone. It's just somebody who's sick. You know, and yeah, do they need to get treated? Yeah, sure. But there is a balance, to my mind, between, you know, the individual's right to seek medical treatment on their own terms and society, quite frankly, in their hysteria, chasing down and tackling people, just, again, with pending tests and, you know, to be confirmed. You know, in these situations where you're not sure of something, again, I don't claim to quite know the answer to all this, but what I do know is I think prior to March of 2020, across the world, I'm not pointing Thailand out specifically, but across the world, I think we were dealing with these kind of matters far more reasonably, far more humanely, quite honestly, and honestly in line much more with notions of human rights and natural rights than what we've been doing recently.